Hey gang, today we're gonna be talking about something that in my opinion, the concept of is really hilarious, which is nuking bugs to make them sterile. Oh yeah, you heard me right. Scientists in South Africa used radiation to stop insects from doing the deed. And for once, nuking something actually saved lives instead of making a new Fallout game. So let's get into that. Back in the day, South Africa had this bug problem. And I don't mean the, oh no, there's a fly in my soup kind of problem. I mean a full-blown insect invasion. Now, you're possibly asking yourself, what insect could possibly cause this much mayhem? Well, it was none other than the tsetse fly. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why would anyone use radiation on insects? That sounds like how you'd get mutants that may or may not cause mass genocide. Now, if you thought that, honestly, that's a pretty fair point. But check this out. It's called the sterile insect technique, or as I like to call it, bug birth control, but with a little bit more cancer. And I'd like to imagine it went something like this.
Alright, boys. How do we stop these winged menaces? Pesticides? No, that's too messy. Traps? No, Clarence. That would be too slow. What about negotiating a peace treaty? Sir? I'm pretty sure bugs don't have lawyers.
That's good.
We have to come up with a solution and we have to be quick about it. The whole country's counting on us, guys.
Hey. What if we just nuked them?
Yeah, you're actually right. That might actually work. Clarence, you're a gosh darn hero to us all.
Well, tsetse flies are like tiny bug vampires with wings. These rascals targeted the local livestock in the area, sucking blood from cows, goats, and anything else they could land on. But worse than that, they carried a parasite that caused an illness by the name of Nagana, which was a disease that basically makes animals weak, unproductive, and eventually, well, dead. Ironically, the sickness kinda sounds like my depression and procrastination. And as you might have guessed, farmers did not take too kindly to that. This means that entire farms collapsed. No healthy cows meant no milk, no meat, no plowing fields. And this wasn't just a few sick animals, it was an economic disaster, with some areas in South Africa becoming complete no-go zones for farming because of these tiny winged terrorists. And it of course didn't stop at cows. Humans were also on the chopping list for the tsetses. They cause a disease by the name of trypanosomiasis, better known as the sleeping sickness, which sounds cozy, except it's so cozy you'd take an eternal nap. And this disease affected both humans and animals. It would usually start off with your basic, I think I need a sick day symptoms like fever, headaches, and joint pain, but then the parasite attacks your nervous system. Then at this point you start getting confused. You lose coordination, you have trouble sleeping, which is ironic for something called sleeping sickness, and eventually you slip into a coma. And if left untreated, that's game over IRL. In some places, up to 50% of people in villages were infected. So it'd basically be like seeing half your town just dropping out of daily life. No work, no farming, no school. Just an unstoppable wave of sickness. And because the tsetse flies were everywhere, there was just no escaping them. So you can see why scientists weren't just like, oh, let's just spray them with some bug spray or something. Nah, drastic measures had to be taken. And they needed a solution. A solution that didn't involve spraying chemicals everywhere that would kill every insect in sight, or forcing people to live in mosquito nets 24/7. And that's when they had the light bulb moment. What if we stop flies from having babies by castrating them with radiation? Hence the birth of the sterile insect technique, where the process of which was scientists taking male flies, zapping them with just enough radiation to make them completely useless in the baby making department, and then releasing them back into the wild. The male flies would then go out trying their luck with all the fair Zetsi maidens. However, they would soon come to the tragic realization that their boys can no longer swim, which means no baby Zetsis. The reason this works is because in nature, if enough sterile males are released, the population crashes over time. Every female fly that mates with a sterile male is essentially wasting her one chance at baby making. It's also species specific, which is good because no other insects would be affected by the mass radiation vasectomies. South Africa's program actually turned out to be a huge success. By sterilizing and releasing them, scientists dramatically reduced the Zetsi fly population, which also helps control diseases like sleeping sickness. So next time you hear the word radiation, don't just think Godzilla or Chernobyl. Think insect vasectomies. Till next time, have a good one.